Hello and welcome to Connect, the weekly podcast for the California MBA featuring one-on-one interviews with movers and shakers in the mortgage industry. I'm Susan Milazzo, CEO of the California MBA, and I'm very happy that you could join us today. Before I welcome today's guest, I'd like to thank our 2024 President's Council sponsors. These are companies that provide a tremendous amount of financial support for the California MBA, in addition to their membership dues, in large part to help maintain our strong voice for the real estate finance industry before the California State Legislature and our regulators. So please join me in thanking this year's President's Council sponsors. Those companies are AmeriHome, Arch MI, CMG Financial, Consolidated Analytics, Funding Shield, Guild Mortgage, and Western Alliance Bank. Thank you all so much for your support. And that brings me to today's guest. I'm happy to be welcoming Nicollette Chapman, who is SVP of the Mortgage Division at Zonda. Nicollette, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I like to get started and find out how people got into the mortgage business. So why don't you share your story of how you came into the mortgage?
Sure. It's been a really fun 25 plus years in the industry. I think I've touched a little piece of all parts of what we do in real estate. Actually got my career started in the title side of things I think it was 1999. I first started as a title business development rep. I had never purchased a house before. I didn't know anything about it. And then used that actually to educate myself, where I became a homeowner at 24, and that's something I'm still really proud of. Then as the industry changed, of course, 9/11 happened, rates just took a huge tumble. And so my company said, Nicollette, we do not need any more salespeople. We need people who actually can sit and do business. So I taught myself how to do escrow. And although it wasn't my favorite job, I have so much respect for people who do that job because it is definitely difficult. But at that time, it was yield spread premiums and discount points and a lot of the things that don't exist anymore. So I think it's been fun to be part of sort of the evolution of how things have changed. Then as I progressed a little bit more, got into building joint venture partnerships, started more specifically working with home builders. That really became my focus. And then through that, got into the mortgage industry, actually ran sales and marketing division, and then started a builder division from the ground up, most recently for a large mortgage company. And that brought me to Zonda. So I realized there was really a challenge in the marketplace to help identify solutions to help lenders be successful in targeting and growing builder relationships. And so came across some of the data sets that existed, and really I joke that I over leveraged them so much to the point where they basically said, would you like to just come join us and help really grow this division? And so it's been such a wonderful part of my career. By nature, I actually have my degree in education. So I love teaching, I love educating, I love helping the community. And so I get to do that while also still using my skill sets in the mortgage space here at Zonda. So it's been a fun 5 years.
Yeah, you've had a wide range of skill sets in the mortgage industry. I always think that's helpful. People they haven't always just done one thing. They've kind of had different experiences. So Zonda focuses on building home builder business for residential lenders. So can you talk with us a little bit about the health of the new home sale market in California and maybe how that compares nationwide?
Sure. Well, and I think probably to start, at Zonda, we are actually the largest provider of residential housing data in the country. So our biggest customer base are actually builders themselves. So they rely on us to be able to help them be better in how do we, leverage this really expensive piece of dirt in order to maximize ROI or how do we understand what's happening in the labor market, or how do we understand what the consumer actually wants in a house today? And a lot of that has changed, especially through COVID. We've seen work from home and we've seen people wanting air filtration systems and things of that nature inside of their house. So, because builders are our biggest customer base, it was a natural space for us to be able to help educate lenders on what builders need in order to be able to have successful relationships. And so going back to your original question, I just thought it was important to sort of give a better understanding of what we do at Zonda, because the lenders are a big part of it, but obviously home builders and builder product manufacturers are also a big part of what it is that we do, as well as advisory services. So actually, speaking of advisory services, reached out to our guru in California. He's actually our guru nationally, our chief advisory officer. His name is Tim Sullivan. And I asked him specifically about the health of the California market. And I'm just going to read to you what he said, because I don't want to get it wrong. He said, because of restricted supply and lack of developable land, it's holding up well in spite of affordability issues. Of course, amortizing the good weather is getting increasingly difficult. The economy keeps chugging along too, but it will be interesting as more manufacturing, particularly aerospace and tech companies, migrate elsewhere.
Yeah, it's we've got a lot of challenges in California, but a company focusing on helping lenders connect with those builders, I think, is really important. So I think Zonda plays an important role in the industry. What type of technology does the company use to provide services to the industry?
Sure. So we have several different platforms, starting with our enterprise solution, which really helps service the needs of all types of data in the home building industry. So whether you're in land acquisition, or whether you're in sales and marketing, or whether you're a lender or a building product manufacturer, trying to help understand what is going on with different communities or land developments, we have solutions as part of that. Of course, my product is called Mortgage Pro, and it's really a platform that exists that helps lenders identify which builders don't have solid lender partnerships down to that subdivision level. We also help them with recruiting data. So if you're trying to recruit loan officers that have strong builder relationships, I think one thing that we've learned over the last couple of years is that it's going to be very difficult to be successful in this market, especially with builders being the future of supply, if you aren't in the builder space. Certainly, we're looking at roughly 35% of all inventory nationally is new construction. And of course, we are seeing a little bit more resale activity come onto the marketplace, but we're still nowhere near enough supply of what we're going to be needing in the future. So I will say one thing that's nice about California is we do have about 41,400 vacant developed lots that are ready to be built on right now. And at Zonda, we can help you find where those lots are so that you can hopefully close those as loans.
How do you, I think this would be interesting for lenders that don't participate in the home builder market. How would lenders kind of get their foot in the door with home builders?
So, well, first of all, I'm here to help. I actually teach classes all over the country on how to win builder business, and we give a sales roadmap. So maybe that's something that we can do for you guys in the future. But I think a lot of it is really just consistency over creativity. If I were really to sort of sum it up in just 4 easy steps, the first one is, by the way, to really take your time in finding builders that sort of match up with a bucket of product that you have. So every mortgage company obviously has different things that they do well. For me, I always did really well in that first time home buyer space, but I was never going to win in the non-conforming or jumbo space. Our rates and programs just weren't that competitive. So what I did is I said, okay, I've got great first time home buyer product. Let me identify builders that have a need for that great first time home product. And then let me show them how I can help them qualify more buyers. So it was really just sort of starting with, here's where I win business. And then going and approaching that just like you would any real estate agent or anything else. Obviously, it helps if you've got construction to perm products or, over the last couple of years, extended rate lock programs, which aren't going to be as necessary anymore just because we anticipate rates going down, but still forward commitments and some of those things are obviously helpful too. But really it comes down to, consistency. It's going into the subdivisions. It's having the meetings. It's doing the follow-up. It's asking how you can be of value. I think a lot of times when I talk to loan originators, I say, tell me what you go in and you talk about. And they give this whole spiel about a menu of services. And I always say, stop and ask them what they need instead of telling them what you can give them. And then my grandma used to say, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen more and talk less. And so I think all of us can do a better job of listening and really servicing the needs of our customer.
Some of the best California markets for new home sales or builder business?
Great question. Well, I'd start by saying the overall California market is still really strong. So in the last 12 months, we've got 40,300 new construction closings, $18.3 billion in loan volume. Riverside County is number one, bless you. Riverside County is number one in the state for market share. It's 16.64%. They did 6,708 new construction closings in the last 12 months. Other markets that are really, really hot right now in California, in Southern California, you're looking at San Bernardino, San Diego, Orange County, LA, Kern County. In Central California, Fresno, really strong market right now. And then in Northern California, Sacramento, Placer County, and then San Joaquin.
Excellent. So that sounds very promising for our state. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
So, of course, Zonda recently became a member of the California MBA, and we're always grateful for support through membership. But can you share with our listeners why Zonda decided to support the association?
Absolutely. We are such big believers in backing the MBA at every level that we possibly can. Our corporate office is in Newport Beach, so we do have a heavy presence in California. Of course, we'd love to encourage anybody to stop by and visit us. I actually live in Scottsdale, so I'm out there quite a bit, but if you stop in on a Tuesday, I probably won't be there, but you'll meet some other friendly faces for sure. But yeah, we love the California market. We love the MBA. And I think most importantly, we're all in this together. So however we can help support, we want to do that.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you for your support through membership. We appreciate it. Look forward to getting Zonda more involved with our association.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
And thanks to all of you for joining us today. To access any of our past episodes, you can follow us on our YouTube channel. We're also available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. That's it for this week, and we'll see you next time on Connect.
Here we go.